Welcome back to another ZAGSBLOG Zoom series interview. I'm your host, Jacob Polacheck, and today I'm joined by Paolo Banchero. According to ESPN.com, Paolo is ranked as the #3 overall basketball prospect in the class of 2021. He made headlines this last Thursday when he announced his commitment to Duke over Arizona, Kentucky, Gonzaga, Washington, and Tennessee. He will join five-star forward A.J. Griffin as Duke's second commit, giving the Blue Devils 2 top 10 commitments already in the 2021 class. Paolo, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
So you just committed to Duke a few days ago, this past Thursday. So I want to start things off. What's it been like these last few days since you've committed? I'm sure your phone has just been blowing up.
Yeah, a lot of people have been reaching out, congratulating me. So that's really the main thing. Ever since I committed, just family, friends, random people, just everybody reaching out, congratulating me and, everything.
And so let's get right into it. You had a number of schools recruiting you. Why Duke and why now?
I just felt like, the reason why I committed when I did was just because, I had been the past year and some months since I've been able to talk to coaches, I never had a clear-cut school that, I really just wanted to go to. It was always between a few schools, and everybody just seemed even, no one ever separated themselves. And people would tell me, when you know, so, just be ready for that time to come. And so I knew, and then I was just I didn't want to wait. So, I just did it. I didn't want to do a big production or anything. I just wanted to, get it edited out and get it out and have everyone know.
And you kind of caught people off guard with that Duke commitment. A lot of people thought you were headed to a school like Kentucky or Washington. So how close were those other schools to landing your commitment before you decided on Duke?
Yeah, I would definitely say it was Kentucky, Duke, and probably Tennessee. It was my 3 that I was, juggling. Gonzaga as well. Those 4, I was pretty dead even, all those 4. 2 months ago, if someone would tell me I had to choose, I wouldn't have been able to between those 4, just because, I loved all 4 of them. But as time went on, just kept talking to all 4 schools. Duke started to separate themselves, and I fell in love with it even more, and that's why I committed.
And you're joining A.J. Griffin as the second commit in Duke's 2021 class. Have you guys been in contact at all since your commitment?
Yeah. We took our visit together back in October. So when he committed kind of soon after that visit. So I congratulated him then, and then we kept in contact a little bit, just over time. And then, when I committed, he texted me and congratulated me, and we talked. And so, yeah, it's been cool.
So what kind of duo can we expect from you two at Duke?
Yeah, it's going to a great duo. We're both really versatile players. AJ's he's like a Swiss Army knife, and I feel like I'm kind of the same thing. We're both big, strong guys who can shoot, dribble. Obviously, I'm a little more inside. He's a little more outside. So I think, that'll complement itself. And I think, we're both really unselfish players. We both, good personalities, good team players. There's no ego or anything. So I think we'll click, really well along with the rest of the team and whoever comes in with us. And I think it'll be special.
And there's been a lot of talk about what position you'll be playing at Duke. I know some sites have you listed as a power forward, some as a center. What position do you plan on playing at Duke, and how do you feel you'll fit in with that system?
Yeah, I've never just been talking to the coaches. Coach Mike Krzyzewski feels that I'm best if I'm not locked in outside, or if I'm locked in inside. Like I'm not shoved on the block, or if I'm kept out on the perimeter. He wants to play me in both spots, and just all over the floor. Just high post to the wing, to the top of the key, to the block, like wherever. I don't see myself as necessarily an outside player, but I don't see myself as necessarily just an inside player. If you watch me play, and you have watched me play, you'll see that, like, I don't just, I'm not in just one area of the court ever. I'm all over, bringing the ball up, but also posting up on the block. I have no problem doing either one. I do either one, at a good level. So at Duke, as far as a position, I'm not sure. He told me, that whatever it is, it's not going to change the way I play, basically. If I'm starting at center, I won't be shoved on the block. If I'm starting at power forward, I'll be doing, it's kind of positionless basketball, just playing all over the floor, kind of like how Zion, how he was used, or however you want to call it.
And
I have no problem playing.
sorry.
As far as the position, I couldn't tell you that, but I just know that I'll be inside, some outside, just all over.
And so I know in your interview with Paul Banchero of ESPN, you talked about Patrick Baldwin and Trevor Keels as a couple of the guys you're working to recruit to Duke. So what have your conversations been like with those guys, starting with Patrick?
Yeah, Patrick's been kind of hard to reach a little bit,
Yeah.
but not. I've played with Patrick at like USA. We've been on the same team, and we've played against each other at a lot of other camps and stuff. So, um, our parents have met and things like that. So, we have a pretty solid relationship. When we did play together, we did really well together, and complimented each other really well. And Trevor, I've been playing against Trevor since we was like in like 7th or 8th grade. And so right after I committed, he texted me, and congratulated me, and we talked. So hopefully we can get him and Patrick. Those are the two biggest ones, I think.
And then are there any other guys that you're working on trying to recruit, trying to bring into this class?
No, not me, but just because I don't really know, I don't really have a relationship with anybody else. I know Patrick and Trevor, so those are the two I'm reaching out to.
And so overall, how good do you think that this Duke's 2021 class could be? What do you think the ceiling is?
I think it could be, one of the best, kind of like with Zion, RJ, and Cam, and Trey Jones. Just me, Patrick being top 3 players, AJ being, in my opinion, a top 5 player, but he's a top 10 player, and then Trevor being a top 20 player. Like, they could be one of the best classes, I think, in recent memory.
So with this pandemic, we've seen a lot of 2021 prospects make their college decisions before the start of the fall, like yourself. Why do you think that's the case? And really, what drew you to committing this early?
Yeah, at first I didn't think I was going to do it, and that was mainly because I wanted to take visits again, just to revisit. But obviously that became known that wasn't going to be able to happen, at least until after the first of the year. And I didn't want to wait that long. I just didn't think I could wait that long. So it just kind of sped me up a little bit with not being able to take visits. And luckily, I visited every school I was considering once already. So I already kind of knew, been to the campuses, met the coaching staffs and all that. So it was kind of easy.
So obviously you were able to take visits to the schools that you were considering, but we've seen a lot of guys make college commitments during this pandemic without visiting the schools that they're committing to. So what kind of impact do you think that could have on the landscape of college basketball? and recruiting, given that there are a lot of guys making decisions without visiting schools?
I mean, I think it can have a sort of an impact. I think a lot of players are doing Zoom calls with the whole coaching staff and all that. And those help, like it's I mean, they show you video and of how they would use you and how they see you and all that. So it's just like it's like a visit, just minus all like the jersey pictures and hotel and just being actually there, which I think is also a big part. But I mean, it depends on who the person is. For some, I don't think they'll struggle, but some players, they might get to the university and hate the area or something. So maybe that could be a negative effect.
And you talked in your interview with Paul Banchero about Coach K's frequent contact with you and how that played a big part in your decision. So just talk a little bit, what's your relationship with Coach K like?
It's really, really good. One of the main reasons why, I felt so good about Duke was because Coach K is probably the head coach that I had the best relationship with. He was probably he was the most frequent head coach that I was hearing from. So, it's a great relationship. I think, we talk basketball a lot, but not always basketball. We talk about, regular things and stuff like that. So it's good. I'm comfortable talking to him about a lot of things. So, I'm just blessed to be able to know him like I do and already have the relationship.
A lot of people know about the legend of Coach K, but from the perspective of someone that's been recruited by Coach K firsthand, what do you think it is about him that makes him such a great recruiter?
He's a great recruiter. Well, I think he recruits everyone different, but I think everyone who gets recruited by him could say he really loves Duke, and he's really when he's really recruiting you, like he's really committed to you, and he wants you to, and he's focused on you. When he's really locked in and recruiting you, and he's a great teacher. He's honest. He's honest. He wants to have an honest relationship. When he's came and seen me play, he's giving me feedback, good and bad. Told me things I could work on. Told me things I did great. Giving me advice on what what I have to do to succeed at the next level and stuff like that. So just a coach who's honest like that, it's special, especially a coach of that caliber.
And we've seen a lot of top prospects make the decision to go to the GLeague with players like Jalen Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Isaiah Todd. Was that something that you ever committed or considered, or were you always locked in on going the college route?
Yeah, I was pretty locked in on going to college, especially when they passed or when they got the rule that you can make money off your name and likeness starting in January. So I've been locked in to go to college the whole time, pretty much.
And so, you mind talking a little bit about that? When they made that decision, what was your reaction to it, and what kind of impact do you think that'll have?
Like when Jalen Green and all that made that decision?
No, the likeness.
Oh, yeah. I think it was a long time coming. I think a lot of players, could have made a lot of money in college off their name and likeness over the years. Just those players who like Zion or Anthony Davis or like a Jimmer Fredette or like, college superstars, players who are famous, just off their college careers could have made a lot of money. So, with that coming into play now, I think it's a real good thing. It's just going to give players, players who work hard every day to make money for the schools a chance to, set themselves up and make some money. So I think it's a good thing.
And so you're someone that's considered a top 5 prospect for the 2022 NBA draft. Do you expect to go one and done? Is that something that you're looking at doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm working towards. That's the goal. That's the dream. But you know, I'm a student athlete, so I'm a definitely finish school when I come back and all that. And if God forbid, something happens, then I have no problem staying. But one and done is for sure the goal.
Looking back on the recruiting process, what was your favorite part of the whole process in general?
Um, probably the first day that coaches could contact you. You know, like that was like by far like the most like just exciting day, and I was looking forward to it for a while. And then I was at NBPA when the day came, and I remember getting called as soon as 12 a.m. hit, and then that whole next day it was just like a bunch of schools, and it was crazy to see because before that I hadn't really heard from any schools outside of the West Coast. So when that came in, I started hearing from every school, nationally. I'm all over. Just it was crazy. So that's probably my favorite.
On the inverse of that, what would you say was the most frustrating part of the recruiting process? What was something that bothered you?
That bothered me. I don't know if there's anything that really bothered me. I think the most or the worst part about it was, you build all these relationships with these coaches. Like those four schools I said, I had strong relationships with, assistants, and I talked to the head coaches a lot and had great relationships with the assistants. So just having to make that final decision and just telling them, that I won't be going to their school after talking to them for like over a year now and just building that relationship and meeting them and all that. It's tough, but at the end of the day, you can only pick one. So, it had to be done.
And you talked about that first day when college coaches could start reaching out. For all of the rising juniors right now that are about to start the recruiting process, what advice would you give to them as someone that's already gone through it?
Yeah. I pretty much handled my whole recruiting process, like I didn't really have anyone like a guardian or anything that was, just taking all my calls or texts. Like every coach that reached out to me first. But yeah, I would just say for rising juniors starting this up, just hear what everyone has to say. Even if you feel like you want to go here or you don't want to go here, just hear what everyone has to say because you never know, you might fall in love with a school or just a coach or something. So, just be open to everybody and then, be patient. Don't feel rushed. Um, take your visits. Um, yeah, just have fun. Don't feel like it's a bad thing, because it's a blessing. It's a good thing. So, have fun with it and realize that, it's a blessing. So,
So now let's talk a little bit about your game. For all the people that haven't seen you play, what kind of player can Duke fans expect from you?
can Duke fans expect? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not traditional big man, I would say. I'm really tall, really strong and all that. But yeah, I can do a little bit of everything. I'm really good inside, around the mid-range, high post area. I'm a good passer. I love to pass. I love to get my teammates involved. I'm really unselfish. Um, yeah, I'm just an all-around player who likes to win. Plays hard. Really smart player. Um, and yeah, just can do everything. If you need me to do whatever, I'll do it. Just anything to help the team win, really.
And so you grew up in a basketball family. Your mom played professionally. Throughout your entire playing career, has there been one moment when you thought, like, wow, I could actually be one of the best in the world at this? I could do this at the highest level?
Yeah, probably after my first probably two sessions, my freshman year playing 17U on the EYBL circuit and being the second leading scorer behind Jaden, who's in the draft now. being the second leading scorer on that team as a freshman, and battling with some of the best bigs and players in the country. Before that I wasn't sure. Like before that I knew I'd be D1. I just didn't know how good. But now after that, I was confident that I could get recruited by blue bloods and stuff like that. So that was probably when I realized.
And then is there any one NBA team that you've grown up watching? You're obviously from Seattle. Is there any team that you've always dreamed of playing for or grew up rooting for?
Kind of. I grew up with the Sonics a little bit. I was like 6, I think, when they left. So I never liked the Thunder, but I like the Heat before and after LeBron and with LeBron. I like the Trailblazers because that's the second closest team to home, and that's the only NBA game I've been to was a Trailblazers game. So I like the Blazers. I like the Lakers, I guess, because LeBron's on there. So yeah, but I'd probably say the Heat and the Blazers is the two main teams.
And so before we wrap things up, I just want to talk about you're of Italian descent. You recently received your Italian passport. So what does your Italian heritage mean to you? And might we see you play for the Italian national team in the future if you're given the opportunity?
Yeah. Well, I'm on the national team, so that's why I got my citizenship and all that. But no, it means a lot. I didn't know a lot about it growing up. I just knew I had like a unique name that no one else had. Then as I got older, I started learning more about it, more about my ancestors and the family I have in Italy and all that. And, it's really sparked the interest. So, I want to continue to learn more. And, I look forward to going to Italy. I was supposed to go this summer, but with the pandemic and everything, I couldn't get out there. But yeah, I'm blessed to be on the national team. So next summer, we'll play in the Olympic qualifier, and hopefully make the Olympics. So, we got a good team. So I'm excited to play for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. Before we go, tell everyone where they can find you on social media and really anything else that you want to tell the people.
You can find me on social media, Instagram and Twitter at pp_does it. And anything I want to tell the people, I'd probably just say to Duke fans, I'm excited, I'm ready, and ready to get it started for sure. So